In the summer of last year, 2014, I began to have some abdominal pain in my stomach that I couldn't explain. And so I waited at least 2 to 3 weeks, hoping that it would just go away on its own. And it didn't. So I went to see my primary care. Most lymphomas are diagnosed at an advanced stage, and mine was no exception. So I was stage 4, and there is no stage 5. This particular type of lymphoma that I suffer from can actually replace a normal wall of the bowel with a wall which is made almost exclusively of tumor. So if you undergo chemotherapy with that situation in place, you can destroy enough cancer cell that essentially your bowel may end up with a hole in it, and that leads to sepsis and potentially death. Before the stem cell transplant can be performed, there is yet another round of chemo that is given, but it's different because it's in massive doses to essentially kill not so much cancer cells, but to kill all the cells of the bone marrow. You cross a threshold when you agree to that. It is impossible to survive without bone marrow cells. Bone marrow is what produces red cells, white cells, all the cells of the blood. So if you do not undergo transplant, you will die of overwhelming sepsis, infection, anything, even the common cold could kill you. My daughter was 13 months when I was diagnosed. You can choose to focus on it's not fair, brand new marriage, beautiful baby girl, life is great, and then this. But it would be significantly worse if I didn't have those things. At least I have something that I can look at and say, this is the great part of my life. My cancer is not a great part of my life, but I have very good things in my life. If someone had come and told me, you need to have 6 more rounds of chemo if you want to go home and see your family, I would have said, okay, give me 6 more rounds of chemo. At least it'll be worth it, because I'll go home to my wife and to my daughter. It just gave me more of a motivation to go home and be with them. As a patient, you're in a heightened state of sensitivity. Everything affects you. It's very clear from the beginning that you are in the hands of experts. I felt safe, and for a patient, I think that's the most important thing. And I felt very respected and very considered. I never really had the sense that anyone that was surrounding me were anything other than competent, and that it's very reassuring. I had no anxiety. The nursing staff is absolutely magnificent. I don't think anyone, be it a nurse, be it a care partner, ever left my room without asking if there was anything else that they could do for me. It meant the world. Just hearing it brought such relief. It would be impossible for something like this not to affect me in the way I practice my craft. I now never leave a patient's room without asking if there's anything else I could do for them. It's, again, simple things like that, but they make a difference.